Yo. Good Wednesday. Didn't have time to record a video today. So, little stream here. It's a nice evening. One of the last ones we'll have in a while, probably. Or, you know, not like that, but summer is almost over, basically. Soon. Be patient, guys. I'm gonna see the sun soon. There it is. Greetings from a low state human. Mia, hey. What's up? Why are you in a low state? Man. Talk to me. I'll cheer you up. Or, you know, I'll influence you in a positive way somehow. Any other guys? Give me a state report, guys. You can elaborate on your state, but A, B, C are the basic categorizations. A, high state, doing really well, really well. Excellent. B, good for the most part, just not the most creative, inspired, but good. C, low, not good. Stressed, overwhelmed, depressed, anxiety. Those are the basic categorizations of states. But of course, it's a gradient. Tony for 20 Tokyos. I'd say B state. All right. Well, that's good. Like B and everything above, you gotta be happy with. And the other you gotta roll with. Because it's part of the game. You know, at this point in the day, I notice I get so much more overwhelmed. Like I've used way more of my resources than I really experience. So now when I go out like this, when I start seeing all the people, I'm like, you know, like not a nervous feeling. You understand? It's like, it's a lot for my brain to have to have too many things to take in. I guess we'll start here. Mia, he says, just been feeling like shit today, but it's okay. It's going away now. Come on, man. Express your feelings. Like what's actually going on. You just felt like shit. Okay, why? In what way? You know, I'm asking both because I'm curious for me personally, but I'm also curious now. You know, I've noticed, I'm not saying you because I just don't know, but some people are not good at expressing whatever is going on with them. Expressing oneself. So, let's sit here. Guys, this is my, you see it okay? I see so little. There's like reflection in the screen. It's a nice place. I have some things to tell you guys, but I want to talk. Like I want you to talk. I hate this when I get the shadow on me. Let's do that. I don't see much, but I feel like having the sunglasses. Maybe I want the other. Is this better? Do I like this more? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't feel happy at all. You know, it's just a vague sense. I'm not liking the setup. Tony for 20 Tokeballs. I haven't drank in 18 days. I don't want to drink until I get home. I've been doing good not listening to that feeling. Yeah. Again, I'll do some coaching for you guys here. You've not listened to the feeling that you want to drink. But the feeling, it's something else. It's, right, what need? Even if drink is the means, that's what I feel like doing. What are you trying to achieve with that? Do you understand that question? What need are you fulfilling? What pain are you trying to numb or trying to escape? Because that's the way, apart from like just habit, and after a while with certain things like even physical dependency, the reason we start with these things to begin with is usually not random, right? It's just that we aren't always like actively thinking about. LCD9, he's so back. High state autumn. Yeah. Yeah, I am in a high state. I'm just not in my most like over the top excited state, but I'm really happy with last week. It kind of caught up to me how hard I've been working and putting out stuff. And it's not just like when you see how active I've been on YouTube, that's a reflection of like the rest of my life outside YouTube and camera as well. And then it snuck up on me, and I didn't feel bad, but I was suddenly like, so tired, and I slept a lot many nights, and I really had a good restart this week, like I predicted on the Sunday stream, I think. So yeah, I've had a few good days, but today was a really good day. I rebooted the podcast today. I'm not gonna say who the guest was, but it was an excellent episode, and I'm just really happy about that. And it's a nice day now. Didn't have time to record a video because I had this long podcast project, so I figured I'll go here for a little bit at least. Yeah. How are you guys? Yeah, I don't want to talk about it right now, to be completely honest, but I got my blood work back and the results are good, and I've been feeling more fit lately. So that's nice. Okay. Well, that is nice. The second part is nice. I mean, you don't have to talk about it. But it's like, I want to, me being the person I am, coach and everything. If you tell me you're not doing great, you're in a low state, it's like you're going to get interviewed. You understand? Because I care. And I feel, I have this belief in myself that I can do something about it, you know. I'll be able to say something. Hi, Theo. Beam Rider 100 says, hey, Beam Rider, how are you? Please talk to me, guys. I have some things I can talk about, but it would be so nice. Get more viewer input. Tony for 20 Tokeballs. I've been eating like crap. I feel fat today, lol. I mean, man, do you have any plan whatsoever for fixing your shit? Because, you know, you're a nice guy. And it seems like you talk as if you're on some kind of improvement journey. It's like, I haven't drank in this long. I've been eating like crap. I feel fat, lol. It's like, what are you up to? What system do you have there? What is your plan? You know, holistic bodybuilding. I was just sitting and playing with words sometimes. I'm like, what's another way to describe what it is? And I came up with individual engineering. So, you know, we say engineering, but with an I also. But that's really what I do. Engineer individuals. Yeah, it was a great podcast episode today. I'm gonna release it on Friday, so. Chefs, hey. Hey, man. How are you? You wrote the dot, dot, dot. Do you feel like I was mean to you the last time we spoke, or? Because I remember, rejecting your advice, and I was kind of tired and sick of people wanting to give me advice on stuff I don't want advice on. So I might have been a little venomous, Says yes, the feminine in me is wounded. It can't be too bad if you're cracking jokes like that. You realize that it's not that I'm not angry or upset with you in a moment like that. That that's just the banter you're gonna get from me in this setting. If I think if you know me, it makes sense that I would express myself that way. But to be clear, I like you. I remember who you are, the theoist guy. You asked me a bunch of great questions about why I created this universe and such. Mia, he says, thanks for caring, bro. No, I do. I really do. Anytime, man. Why? Yo, Theo. Yo, chat. Yo, why? How are you? Like the stream if you haven't, guys. Ask me something. Because I have stuff I can talk about, but my mind, this podcast I shot, it was very recent, and you're 3 hours in a deep commercial. I had a 1 hour break, pretty much. Yeah, but so I'm just avoiding going into that podcast because I don't want to spoil it. So, it's helpful to get input from you. Yeah, really nice day. It's getting colder. Not so dark yet. But on some days, when it's like cloudy, like 4, 5, 6 degrees in the morning, maybe it gets up to 12, 13, 14 degrees in the middle of the day. It's like early taste of autumn, just that it's green outside still. Oh, the chat got stuck for me. Shesha says, fair enough in a heart. Yeah, love you, man. That's the thing. I'm very nice and sweet to everyone that's nice and sweet. But if you go places that I don't want and you keep doing it, you cannot expect me to be all nice. It's not gonna happen. But I really love you guys that can roll with that. Music, fumble the bag, little bro. Who is that from some troll account saying that? Trying to rile me up? Yeah, try harder, man. Why? I'm doing great, man. Woke up well rested. Awesome. Can't ask for a better start to the day, right? I'm just trying something. 13:37. There's a delay, and I want to tell you, like, I spot numbers, but they're not the same for me and you. Yeah, a good day starts the day before, when you go to bed on time and sleep well. Do you know how awesome that is? To never need an alarm clock. You sleep until you're done. I had my cleaning lady come today, and she comes to my place at 7:30. I've not needed an alarm clock for that in years. And I'm always up way before then. Today I went up at I don't go up that early, always now, but I went up before 5 this morning. Yeah. I'm back on serious training this week. I can talk more about that. Tony for 20 tokables. My diet is a struggle for me. I don't have much of a plan. I just try to cook steak and eggs a lot when I'm doing good. But you gotta have a plan, man. Even if it's steak and eggs, everything, the less guesswork. The more there is an option ready, if you understand, So what that means to you on your level, or whether it is that you actually meal prep, I personally have never had to do that. Whether it is just that you have it prepared, you have it like available, whatever food it is, even if it's not like meal prepped, like already cooked, that you know very well that when I get home, I'm gonna eat this amount of this and this amount of this. Whatever times you eat during the day, you should know when and what you eat in what amounts. Then there can still be, if you have some food addiction and stuff, slip-ups. But you see, the more the more of a system that is in place, the better. Old man staring at me. I tried to say it so he can hear me. Yeah, he did. Enjoy the sun while you can, Beam Rider 100 says. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, man. Thanks for the encouragement. Hi, a pothead says. Hi, are you a pothead? Nice to see you. Did I miss something higher up? I feel like there was a question. Yeah, thoughts on Nietzsche. 1 second, I might have... let me just see if I missed something. This freaking auto function top chat, so-called. I think I didn't miss anything. Thought on Nietzsche. The thing is, I haven't read Nietzsche. I haven't read much. I'm just very, very, like, vaguely, loosely. Like, no, that's not. It's not vague that I seek. I mean, like, on a shallow, on sort of a big picture level. I mean, from the little I know, I feel like he had a more pessimistic outlook on the world than I have. But I think just some, like, how should I put it? Just facts about how things work. You see, not the sentiment maybe with it, but just the, like, realistic outlook on certain things. Like maybe women, I'm not sure. He's probably too woman hating for me. But he's probably still spotting some true things, you know. So, you know, I can't give much more of a take on Nietzsche. Let's ban this troll now. Super boring. Yeah. Gone. Yeah, I saw that. That was funny. Let me see. Thank you guys for contributing in the chat. Please like if you haven't. Maybe send a super chat. Yeah, hi, pothead. Chefs, is our gaming bad, pointless in your opinion? So no, like, if I'll try to give my short take on it, it's just like anything, it's like the intention and balance, you know, and honesty about it. Like, I keep saying that I wish I liked video games more now. I just cannot bring myself to enjoy them in the way I did when I was younger. I get bored so fast. It feels like I'm doing chores in a fucking fake world. That's just how I experience it. But it would sometimes, when you live by yourself, and you know, you see some friends here and there, but sometimes when you've worked and you just should do something that's not work to wind down. Like playing video games for an hour or two seems like a perfect thing every once in a while. I did it a little bit earlier this year. I played some Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, actually, because I remembered, I have that for my Switch, a port. I did it exactly like that, maybe 2 to 3 times per week at 1 to 2 hours. But I wish kind of that I could, because right now it's just super boring to me with video games. But you see, if it's actually something like, yeah, when I've done all the good stuff, all the productive stuff, it's a way I wind down. Like, you see what I mean? Everything, it depends on, you know, volume, intensity, frequency, just like with training. But, you know, intention, timing, and stuff. So, you know, lots of guys would play video games way too much. And I have, but why is it like, honestly, reading a book, watching a movie, playing video games a little bit at the end of your day, these are things I feel are like, whatever, they're okay, they're the same to me. It's just like whatever you like. Let's see, a pothead, what do you think of that vegan day debate, Charlie Kirk? That debated. I mean, I don't watch much stuff like that. I don't know what vegan it was. I know who Charlie Kirk is, but I don't know much about him. I don't really follow politics stuff so much. Um, so I will have some idea of stuff, but this I won't just even if I seen a Charlie Kirk clip here and there, it's like I won't automatically know this. I'm sorry. Um, a pothead. Do you think Jesus Christ used holy anointing oil that has cannabisum in it? I have no idea about that, man. Interesting questions you ask. Churches, why did a guy with an out of order shirt try to talk to you in your video? So yeah, it's a good question, right? So for you that don't know, in this video that turned out to be so different, it's called "What Do Women Want in a Man," and I had some ideas about stuff I wanted to talk about, but because of all the stuff that got in the way, I ended up like the first half was pretty much what I intended, but the second wasn't at all because I just so much happened that changed what was going on in my head. Still an okay video, kind of weird, but in the later half, when I'm just like gonna get my last clip there, some fucking guy, imagine I'm standing, it's like a meadow. I've actively, if other people are gonna come, I've like gone away. Like no one should need to be close to me. And I just see this guy heading closer. I'm like, is this guy heading to me? And I see, because I recognize these out of order stickers. He has two of them. They are from like the subway. It's usually in the subway when like an escalator doesn't work or something, they put them up. And so I just, the first time I just paused, because I was hoping I could just pause, talk to him, and just go on, And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he did that thing with, because I'm out of order. And I'm like, I'm just like waiting. He's standing there all deadpan, And I'm like, okay, so it was just like boring fucking joke. You came up and interrupted my filming with, like, that's not what I said. I'm much nicer. But I had a bit of an attitude, just like kind of, that's it, And then he said sorry if I interrupted or something, and I'm like, yeah, well, I was filming, and yeah, he goes away, and I told this to the camera in short. Then he came back, and this time I kept the camera on, and he's like, again, sorry for interrupting. And I'm like, well, you did it again. And he's like, yeah, I did the same mistake twice because I'm out of order. It's like funny. No, but it was okay, because now at this point this video was a mess already, so it's almost just kind of funny. But of course it's sort of like a hater online, Like, I'm there, jacked guy, this is some random fucking emo kid. Like, not necessarily, but you understand that's kind of how I look at, I don't know, dark hair, kind of rocker style, so I don't know even. No, but he just wanted my attention. And even he says I'm a sort of special guy, and he's thinking I'll probably not get violent in the middle of the day in the forest. There could be other people around and that. He is just being all cool, a cool and funny guy, like, yeah. I don't have enough of an ego to take offense to that, unless like he actually was like more aggressive with the thing. But that's my read on it, He knows very well, especially the second time that I'm filming, I mean, if he came up the third time, it's not like I wouldn't get violent at all. But you see, I could get angry. I could like assert a boundary a bit harder than just saying like, well, you're interrupting again, But that's my read, because of what I've learned about the internet haters is that on the behind the screen they can use more bigger, harsher words, and you don't see them. But I realized now from my interactions that, yeah, my attention is a lot of the time what they want, right? So I think this guy just wanted my attention, and people that don't think they can get it in a good way, or just being fucking cool. Like, even if he interrupted, he could have come up and be like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, that's cool, that's interesting, or something. But yeah, some people, I think they think their only shot is to be a clown like that. Like the stream if you haven't, guys. Let's see. A pothead. Isn't that the definition of the holy anointing oil? I have no idea what holy anointing oil is, man. What does fragrant cane mean, though? I mean, if you're talking about stuff from the Bible, I haven't read the Bible. I'm a man of God. I've been wearing a cross because I just understand Jesus better this year. But I got this cross from a friend. So for me, it's just a general spiritual symbol, not necessarily a Christian one. So, you know, asking about technicalities like that about Christianity, I'm not the right person for that. A pothead. Did y'all know Andrew Tate and his brother bisexual? Just kidding, but they're both biracial. Yeah, I thought like, nah, come on, man. Yeah, they're like half black, and I don't know how black their dad was because he was an American black guy, right? They're not all, 100% African genes. Yeah, so they're very light-skinned blacks, It's kind of strange. They have this like thing that they're half British and half American also. Interesting English accents from that. Chefs. In the game of life, 100 being the highest, what level would you say you are now, and what level when you were 25 with panic attacks? So it's harder for me to say back then what level I was, because I feel like I started the game at 25. I have some different models for how I look at this, but 100 is not the highest. 100 is the theoretical highest, but you never get there. In fact, I suspect that not even the universe is 100%. Like it's a definition, but I think it's ever expanding. So I think it's just like 99.99999999999. And the way I've looked at it this year, what I felt during my peak highest state was I'm beyond level 99. And it's just that in that last percent, that's where all the magic happens. And it's a logarithmic curve. So even a little like fraction, smallest fraction, percent of a percent of a percent beyond 99, it all matters a lot. And that was my strong feeling. And I had this conversation with my dad when, I've talked a lot to my family and about their parents and so on. And my dad pretty much thinks my granddad, his dad, was great. And we were texting. I said, I know you think he's perfect. And he said, like, not perfect, he said. And I'm like, okay, what level do you give him? And he gave him 95. I'm like, okay, and what level do you think I am? And he gave me, he was thinking for a bit, and he gave me 96. One better than my granddad. And I gave my dad 99. And then I said, do you know what I think this means? I think it means that granddad, he probably was 95. I think you're 96. And I've taken the torch and gotten to 99. That's what I feel. So yeah, man, 99, but everything beyond. The interesting thing is that I've compared to Diablo 2. And in Diablo 2, there's this fixed limit. You can go to 99, right? And yeah, I was like, that makes sense in a sort of, in our system, in the system, in a computer game, there's limitations. You reach 99 and you're done. But what I actually realized about the game of Diablo 2 is that it's a game with so many random factors that it's almost, I don't know that anyone ever made a 100% optimal 99 character, because even if you reach level 99, you could have different equipment that could like range, like let's say a weapon could have 300 to 400% enhanced damage, but it can have everything in between, 300, 301, 302, and so on. And at the same time, this item is going to have other stats that are, randomized like that. So that was the thing with Diablo 2. There was just always some little increment of improvement you could reach for, always. So it's interesting how we use that as a comparison. Said it's a fixed game. It is fixed in comparison to reality, but I just realized that, hey, it's actually even closer. Because even on 99, there's so much little mini opti you can do. LCD9, sorry I can't participate. I'll maybe rematch this stream later. Yeah, man. See you later, man. You're a good guy. Wow. Is this pothead that's asking a lot? Well, that's fine. You know, now the sun is soon gonna disappear from here. I might move location a little bit. But yeah, 99 plus. Pothead. Oh yeah, that GTA game. Cool, because it was the most free roaming one. Yeah, man. Do you know what I thought about GTA, especially San Andreas? Is that, do you know that GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, they're all based on the same, I don't know how you say that in English, like spelmotor, like game engine, I guess. Like the virtual, like the foundation for the physics and everything is the same. And there was a beauty to, of course, the later games have more features and better graphics and everything, but there was a beauty to just the imperfection of the game, that it had sort of infinite possibilities because there was so many random buggy things that could happen. Like almost anyone that's played a lot of GTA San Andreas has several, like this crazy bug that happened and it was super funny kind of thing. So that was always a funny thing with that game. So many bugs. But yeah, since I barely can play games anymore, like I just don't enjoy it much, I bought that at some point because I keep thinking that it is this good winding down activity. But it's almost only, it's like in the winter, maybe a bit lower state, you know, not as much going on with anything. It's like, okay, I guess I'll play a little bit of GTA. The first thing I do in GTA is always go max out the muscle in the gym. I posted. I got recommended your videos lol on my Switch Lite actually. Cool, man. Are you new here? Rob Carr 98k, long-time fan. I'm all for your mission and mindset, but be careful in the future not to fall into ego traps, pride/narcissism, etc. Keep it up, bro. Stay Sigma. You know, it's a positive message, so I don't want to be too sarcastic and harsh. But it's like, I don't know. Like, you know, I don't really don't want to sound mean now, but I don't know how people that don't dare to put themselves out there like I do, and I definitely, I don't do anything close to what a narcissist would do. A narcissist would never display all the vulnerability and weaknesses and stuff that I do. It's like, how could there possibly be anything ever to an advice like that? How could I ever take it seriously? Yeah. It's like, do you know what I feel when I hear that? It's like I feel like people have such high standards on you. That's it's not okay. It's not enough that you're super helpful, that you share all these things, that you put out so much free content for years for almost nothing in return. If I ever sense that you're a little arrogant, or have a little bit of an attitude, you know, you're not supposed to be human, Theo. You should be perfect always. You should just be handling this that I never have to handle. I'm anonymous on the screen, and I know what advice I should give you, Theo, about this. And it's like, yeah, you're 99, but gotta be 100. Be God, Theo. So I appreciate you, man, but it's like I have to make that point. A pothead continue with GTA. Till the newer ones, problems with the video games, really the screens and the wireless technology. And then on the Charlie Kirk thing. He was a vegan that said he agreed with Charlie on basically everything, but how he doesn't care about how animals treated badly. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about that. Do you think Eminem is a high testosterone man naturally? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Chefs. He seemed creepy. Ah, you meant the guy that came up with the out of order sign? Yeah. Yeah. It's just that it's not like I have any reason to fear that guy. To me, he's just annoying. Miyahi, I like games that tell a cool story, but I'm done with the MMORPGs where you have to level up your character for hours. Yeah, that's that's what you're supposed to do in real life, is what I keep saying. You know, it's so funny. It's not even funny, you know, but you realize it. When I started living this lifestyle, I remember listening to Donkey Kong Country music and heading to a gym workout. I realized, like, I'm just as excited about this as I was about playing video games as a kid. And then I realized, like, got hijacked. I was supposed to be more interested in leveling up me, not beating all these games. Again, games are a thing now, and so I'm not against them completely, but I'm just seeing how dangerous it was, especially for me as a kid. Guess I'll move locations a little bit. Chef says you are a god. Why? Why would you say that? A god. Where were we? I wish this chat would just stay in place. It only does that when I don't intend it to. I don't know how to do it. Chef says about the guy that came up, maybe he was homosexual. That was not my impression. I think he was with a couple of girls. Not that that wouldn't make him gay. That could even be proof that he was gay. But it was just not my impression he was gay. It's like, I'll tell you this quickly. I went to raves twice. Like, that one wasn't really a rave, it was in the day, but to that kind of party twice this summer. And especially on the second one, it's like these people have never seen a fit guy, and they assumed so many weird things about me. So, you know, I think this guy just found it curious to be around the Chad when, yeah, he never is otherwise. A pothead. Using the YouTube app on it, it was you attacking that pencil-necked dude, as you called him, Cygreen, or whatever, that skinny carnivore dude. You mean that goatis guy, yeah? What do you think of immigration and hippos killing more people than lions because they're very territorial, and they actually herbivores like cows, but rarely to actually eat meat? Man, you ask about immigration and then about hippos and lions. Chef wonders if you're crazy. You say, but crocodiles actually still kill more than any species. They actively hunt people still. You're kinda out there, man. Chef says you should interview Jesse Lee Peterson now that you're jacked and stacked blonde giga Chad. Yeah, you know, all this stuff, guys, it's like I do everything myself again. And so the scheduling, like some, you know, I'm already trying to get a hold of some guests that are really difficult to reach. So you see, it's like, yeah, it's not that it hasn't occurred to me. The thing is, Jesse liked me when I called into his show years ago. So I'm pretty sure Jesse would love me and that he would want to interview me, or vice versa. But the, you know, way bigger following, like, I think I could call into the show, right? So maybe I could do that again. But you see what I mean? That, yeah, it's a good idea, but I'm already thinking about it, and I only have so much time and resources already trying to. There's certain people I'm hunting so much, and they just either flat out ignore me, I'm not sure, or it's just so difficult to reach them. It's not a measure of good health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. I don't know, I don't care too much or too little. Yeah, but it is not a measure of good health to be well adjusted. You know, it depends. I mean, I'm well adjusted, I'm living a good life, but I'm not living like most people do. But Pothead thinks JLP is amazing. Yeah, you're writing so much, man. I'm actually not gonna read all of this. SED9, Red Ice Radio. What did I miss? Red Ice Radio? Says you are Diablo 2 reincarnated. That's funny. Potter asked if I heard of Robert Seifer, or however you spell his last name. A vid by him was retweeted by Elon Musk. I don't know who that is. Tony for 20 Tokeballs. I feel like I've been going through the end of the red pill rage. When you said you were a hypocrite for being so judgmental of women, that really stuck with me. Did I tell you personally? Yeah, because I don't remember. I mean, I remember you quite well, but I don't remember every single thing we've said. So, but I'm glad. I'm glad if it hit you. Because like I can relate. I've been there myself, but that's also the reason that you know, if men are what they claim they are many times, the bigger person, the stronger of the two sexes, it's not about like equality in worth or importance, but just who is stronger. If men are that and want to claim that, then they shouldn't ever be upset with women, like in general. Do you understand? It's one thing if a woman actually wrongs you, of course, but going around being generally bitter towards women, it's not a manly thing to do. Here's a nice spot. I'm just not quite sure. It's nice here, but it's like not the best. Like I don't have a bench or anything. Not necessarily want to stand. I might keep moving. Chef said, yeah, you are a god. What god? A pothead. He just saying don't be a narcissist in the future, man. Yeah, but I get this too much. Do you understand? It's the unfairest accusation ever with me, because you know I have a certain kind of humor. I make points in a certain way. I actively use that, and yeah, like any person, I can sometimes be a little triggered and be on an ego trip of different degrees. It's been a long time now, though, since I actually did that. Yeah, and you know, that's what I mean again. People hold you to insane standards. Like I know how much I give to other people and how much I share of myself, how much I am a servant of God and my fellow human beings, and it's just fucking ridiculous that people do that shit. It's very narcissistic, honestly. You know who calls other people narcissist or talks about narcissists the most? Narcissists. Actual narcissistic or, you know, narcissistically inclined people, because it's not a black and white thing. So that's how I finish this off right now. It's like I wouldn't say that, oh, I never display any tendency to any narcissistic trait ever, because everyone does sometimes. It's just a joke. It's a complete and utter joke. Drop a meditation. Watching people give critiques and advice on your channel just validated how retarded society is. You can never do good enough for so many people because they are not happy, in my humble opinion. Yeah, man. Exactly. Exactly, man. That's what I mean. Just because I don't shrink myself and I'm this little nice guy. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a bit narcissistic sometimes. I'm sorry. You know, I'll just do better. I'll just become God. Is that okay? Am I good enough for you then? It's like little people sitting on the sidelines and anonymously thinking that it's actually valid that they have input like this. Yeah, and I take it on the chin, like even talking this way I do now, I trigger those people, and it's for your benefit. You're welcome. You're welcome that I dare to be so non-narcissistic, all in your face. Chef, what if a big ego means a big heart? It doesn't necessarily, but a big ego, that, you know, when you are truly and fully yourself, of course you're going to have a big ego, as in you're going to have your very unique expression, your personality, the individual that you are. But it's always the thing that I talk about. Do you have your ego on your leash? Are you walking and kind of watching your ego? Or is your ego the one running the show behind you? And this can switch at times, and you gotta notice when you're suddenly the one being pulled around in the leash. So you see, that's one thing I'll say. I've noticed that the bigger the man, sort of, the bigger the ego, he's gonna be, you know, like that. If you're talking a good guy, big-hearted guy, what I noticed though is like when you have a big personality, small mistakes, or when you're just a little bit acting out of ego, it looks like way bigger. I'll tell a story about someone that I don't want to name who it is, but it's someone with like I would say about twice as big of a following as I have. And he, great guy, I happen to know him a bit personally, like a friend of a friend kind of. And there was just this story when his passport got stolen, or someone was going to help him in a different country with a passport and he stole his money. And it was like, it was not an enormous amount of money, and he could definitely do without it. But like out of principle, he spent so much time, like an insane amount, just hunting this guy down. And it was some kind of like, it's not about the money or that, it's a matter of principle sort of thing. But it just seemed like he was fooled by this guy and he had to get him back, you know. And of course, it's not a bad thing. It's no one getting hurt by that other than this bad guy in the end. But it's just like, was that really necessary? Was it worth it to you to do all of that? Did it really accomplish something other than you feeling good that you got the guy back, you know? That's what I mean when a big personality just is acting being slightly pulled by their ego. They're so big that the shockwave from that is going to be big. Like the stream if you haven't, guys. Maybe send a super chat. I would be happy. I would appreciate it. Feed my narcissism with a super chat. So, where were we? Where were we? Pothead asked, you honestly don't use any steroids or anything? How young are you? 30 something, late 20s? Did you go on with that? And then he said, sorry lol, but yeah, I bet you're natural. It's just how hard to believe sometimes people because it's so much easier to just use roids. And some people try to justify it because they state the world killing us. And I mean, man, can you slow down a little? It's like, I'm happy that you're writing, but you know, collect your thoughts a bit in each message. But I am natural, man. Yeah, I'm 32. I'll be 33 in December, and I just done really well with my training, and I have possibly above average genetics. But yeah, the main thing is that I've had a progress-driven mindset for over 7 years now. Even when I knew less, you know, I was doing less, I understood quickly that this is now part of my life. I have to keep doing this forever. I have to train hard, and I have to train harder than last time, like Greg Doucette said. Those things have been in place this entire time, and then I've just improved my understanding of every detail, optimizing. And it's not really, to me, it's not so hard to believe, because it's like, for me, it's not like, you know, someone that would see a before and after picture for something, it looks like a drastic difference, but yeah, because it's time travel, a year or sometimes several years in the future. While for me, I've seen myself every day. I know how hard I've trained. I know every time I'm like, yep, beat the logbook again, you know. It all makes sense to me. Yeah, I'll take it as a compliment, all of that. Chef said, putting you on a pedestal makes me realize the potential within me. That's why you are a god. I mean, I know you're joking, but please don't put me on a pedestal. Like, for both of our sakes. Do you know what I want? If someone is impressed on me, the way I would like you to see it, instead that it's like I'm standing on top of this mountain, it's just way above you, it's more like we're on the same path, and I'm standing further down, and there's this mist in between, so you can't really see the road. And I'm standing, I'm showing you that I'm here, I got here, I'll guide you here, I'll tell you, start throwing yourself into the mist, and I'll tell you where to look out for the pitfalls and traps, and then you come to me. And then maybe I'm so old that you're gonna run away from me. Miyahi, like for example, Assassin's Creed's Origins, it takes place in ancient Egypt, and it even has a discovery tour where you get to learn a lot about history, and that got me so hooked to Egypt. Lol. Yeah, man, and that's the thing. That's a great idea for video game makers to, because you know, video games aren't all bad. It's like it is an escape from reality. It can definitely just be a drug, you know. But that's all you do, all you think of is playing the game. But if you think of what would happen to you from playing certain games, problem solving, you know, reflexes, patience when you have to do the trial and error over and over and over again, right? And if they actually do it like that, you can learn history at the same time. And it's a more engaging way to learn history. So you see, they're not all bad. It depends on the context. Chefs. What do you think the out of order guy wanted from the interaction? Did he expect you to go like, haha, you're so funny, brah, wanna go to the gym with me? No, I mean, I think he just wanted, that's what people do, it's funny that you're so interested in this guy, but no, people, it's a certain, it's just that I don't feel bad from it, and it's gonna sound exaggerated, but it's almost like it's a form of bullying. He feels powerful just that he can go up and interact with me and somehow affect me, and even just know that, you know, this somehow influenced the video he was making, right? Whether ruining it or there's this break in the video, right? So it's a very mild form of bullying that I didn't really mind much. Because I see it for what it is. Like, this is some fucking loser coming up to me, not being funny. Just, looking to just do something, right? So, yeah, that's what it is. Pothead, you sure you're not intentionally not taking steroids too, right? You take supplements, you're careful which one you're taking. What are you talking about, man? I take creatine. Yeah, I take some little things like that. Of course, it's not 100% accurate, but you get to see a world that took place long before you. That's so amazing to me. I enjoyed every second of that. Yeah. And if we think something else other than just learning the history, maybe that would spark an interest. Like, oh, I want to go to Egypt. And you go to Egypt. You either have some experience that you bring with you back, or you found something that you're supposed to do in Egypt, kind of. Is his name. I would call you AAA, even though it's 6A. It's two AAAs. Would you do IRL pranks for clout or talk about popular discourse? It might be worth it to bring them to your healing and powerful message. Yeah. I mean, I could do some things, but I'm not thinking so much about pranks. Like, I'm thinking more like, is there something I could do in public just to get attention, but not necessarily a douchebag thing? I'm thinking more like, sit down in some public place. I have a sign pretty much inviting whoever wants to come talk. I just put some deep message there. Maybe I put some like naked truth about myself. Like, I used to be suicidal and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. People see the seriousness, but also that I went first. I share something and have people come down. For instance, come down, sit down, No, but that was something that I've thought about. Talk about popular discourse. Yeah, when I feel like it's not forced, I will chime in on something. Pothead. I think you should never take anything unnatural, especially not steroids, because it messes with your balls' ability to produce testosterone. Yeah, man, it's like I'm the coach here, a natural bodybuilding coach that does a lot of content that triggers people, that I say they shouldn't even care about fake natties because it's keeping them small, to just focus on if other people take steroids. Just don't take them and train your ass off and get as good as you can. So it's not like you have to tell me. A pothead you are, though. So I guess pot is natural, right? Pot is fine. Loose Demos. Is there a carb amount based on body weight you recommend for a refeed after 3-day fast? No, because body weights could, it could be made up by many different body compositions. And even if it is a certain composition, I don't know your exact level of fitness. I don't know where you're trying to achieve. So no. And honestly, I don't even think much about it like that myself. I'm sometimes, if I'm gonna refeed big time after a fast, because I want to be really full on glycogen for the next day, I just have some ridiculously high target for myself. Just trying to get as close as possible. So no, man. It's like, I could give you a suggestion if you tell me, like, okay, what are your stats? What do you weigh? What height? Roughly body fat percentage? What is your main goal right now? What fast is it? Are you gonna fast more? All these things matter. Chefs, what if you were the greatest human being that ever existed? I mean, it's not like it doesn't occur to me, but no, but man, I appreciate, you manage to sort of mega exaggerate with your like compliments without, how should I put that? It still doesn't make me feel like you actually put me on a pedestal. I just think you like me. So I still appreciate it. It was just a Jesus comparison. I don't want to be associated. It's one thing when I joke that Jesus was a DL and stuff. But to say like, oh, I'm better than Jesus or something. It's like, even if it's a joke, it's like, I just don't want to associate with that. But I appreciate you, chefs. A pothead, he asks if he is a troll. Like, he's just a pothead. He's just like, he is doing what a lot of people should do. I'm here. And he's on the other side, and he can ask me and tell me whatever, and you guys, whatever he wants in the chat. So, even though it's a little much, I appreciate this pothead. Jack asks, what views did you hold when you were an alt-righter? Did you believe in conspiracy theories about the people with the small hats and the anti-white agenda? Conspiracy theories. It's like, I mean, I'm just not as emotionally invested now. But like what views I held, I generally focused on like, there's this huge conspiracy overall to kind of replace white people through immigration, which is like, it's one of these things. It's a matter of how you define it. It is happening to some degree, but I also realize that just because there's this immigration thing going on, yeah, it could mess up the country, could, the demographics and stuff, but I just never, now especially, I just don't believe that white people would just disappear, But pretty much, the immigration, the crazy feminism and identity politics that like are in, how do you say that? Like all the institutions are like marinated in this. Just that people were such NPCs. You feel like you have to go around being quiet about what you actually believe and stuff. And about like the Zionists, it's like, it's not black and white ever, but they definitely are a people, I'll say that much. But it's like, I have a friend that's Jewish. He's like more alt-right than I am now, but they for sure are a people that with certain inclinations. Yeah. Yeah, you're lecturing pothead because he's saying too much nonsense. And then he said, so I noticed from what little I've seen, you are pretty athletic, at least in terms of moving heavy stuff and looking intimidating. And you improved this, I'm assuming, because I looked different before, but never really worked out. I bet before you did and then got jacked, but you improving your other aspects, such as your voice, your brain, your balls. Ever heard of getting sunlight on your balls? Yeah, man, I did a lot of that, especially in 2022. Not as much this summer, but I do try to take a chance every once in a while, just for the sake of it, I don't really understand what the fuck you're saying with the rest, though. It's like, holistic bodybuilding is what my method is called. I have my origin story when I was the skinny fat loser, hedonist, nihilist, anxious, depressed guy that started, was drinking and partying and hooking up with girls, just escaping life through vices. Went through a transformational few months with daily panic attacks that forced me to change. And then I started working on myself, and right from the start I found God. It took me a little while to articulate that that's what it was. But even though bodybuilding has been a focus, it's always been about health and strength. I'm very flexible. I'm quite athletic. I'm a little bit clumsier than I could be if I trained a bit more, like, plyometrics and stuff. But I'm not like this fridge. I have flexibility. I'm quite agile. And yeah, I work on the mind and soul, the spiritual stuff as well. That's me, man. And I help people with this. So most of my clients, whether they know it or not, it's never mainly the... They say sometimes, oh, I came to you because of the fasting and stuff, but that's not the entire story ever. It's always that it's more that they have to do than just realize how they should fast or eat or train. They need to realize many things about themselves and heal. A healer. Chef said, so he hunted him down and made him beg for forgiveness. You mean that guy with a sign? I didn't hunt him down. Jajva, ja. Hello. Hello, man. Chef says, that sign idea is amazing. Mia, Elma, you're right. I actually do want to go to Egypt ever since playing this and looking stuff about it outside the game, watching documentaries and all that. Yeah, man. We'll go. I think you should go, man. Like, not immediately right now, but I just from what I know of you, I could be wrong, but I could totally see you being all fascinated by Egypt, but it doesn't even occur to you that you can go there, that you don't have to live small. It's not necessarily small. Like, I live where I usually move around for most of my days. You know, I have my hood, I have my like area here, and then all the stuff like shops and gyms and stuff. It's not too, you know, big of a radius, but I will go to some errands and friends and stuff in other places. What I'm saying is that living big or small, it's not necessarily only about geography like that, but just that, yeah, everything you want is available, not always instantly, but any idea about the thing like, oh, Egypt seems nice, it's like, well, you can go there, man. You can go. Pothead thinks I should do that, change my mind like Steven Crowder. Yeah, Steven Crowder, I remember I actually was like a regular listener to Steven Crowder back in, when can that have been? It's a long time ago now. It must be there. 2013, 14, 15, 16. Probably the earlier of those years. I remember there was this artist, he used his music, this artist Pogo, that would do songs from like Alice in Wonderland, but Harry Potter and all kinds of things. It was really good, actually. I just found the keys to the city. The beats are big and the lights are pretty. So why won't we get to the busy where the dreams are in the sky? That was one of the few songs he made. It was an original song. Good stuff. Yeah, Russo P says that's a good idea to do the sign in public thing. Yeah. Yes, guys. You know, I would love it so much. I don't know, some of you might do, but if some people would just like post my stuff in forums and that, like, imagine if this happened. You find a video of mine funny, or you just see that, hey, this could really go off in this place, and you go share my video that just had like 500 or 1,000 views or something, and then it goes viral because of this. Wouldn't you feel awesome that you helped me with that? Pothead says that pot shouldn't be done in excess, but yes, if it isn't genetically modified and grown organically, it's just another plant. Yeah, but there are many plants that kill you. It's like a terrible argument. You know, I'm not saying that I necessarily have a super strong stance on weed. I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate how sneaky it is. But that just a plant argument, well, there are many chemicals that were made in labs that aren't really that bad. And there are plants you die from. So what are you going to do now, you know? People use plenty of other substances to get it to change how they feel. Yeah. Now we were talking about weed. Jaja, good night. Good night. Keeps defending weed. Mia, like back in school, we were learning about Egypt, and it got stuck in my mind as some village with a pharaoh and a mask and 2 pyramids at a river. But damn it, it was such a huge civilization. Yeah, man. Not that I know in depth about Egypt at all. I'm not good at history and stuff. But yeah, huge for sure. Absolutely mind blown by it. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of weed talk. Chef says based. I guess about my alt-right views or something. Chef says, what will 80-year-old Coach Theo be like? Well, hopefully finally rid of all the kids and grandkids. Like, you know, have them in his life, but not have to like live with them and stuff. And yeah, he's probably doing something similar still. And I guess I'm gonna have gray hair at that point probably, but I'm probably gonna have hair. And I look like I do now, with just a bit more wrinkly skin, a little less muscle. Tanned as fuck at that point. The darkest Caucasian that ever walked this earth. Yeah. I'm guessing I'll be like, I'm gonna be 100 years old. Specifically because I don't really care so much about quantity in this life. Like, you know, I don't live risky, I don't want to die young, but I rather live the way I want over living a long duration just for the sake of it. Specifically for this reason, I suspect 99 would make sense actually. Not 100, 99. That would make complete sense. Pothead says, love that you look out for a neighbor. You just aren't in it for yourself, seemingly at least. Yeah, my people. And then has grown a beard ever? Like, this is about as good as my beard gets. And I've only grown it because a guy suggested it on a stream. I think I want to move location. I was just thinking of how I should go. Yeah, I cannot really grow a really good beard. But yeah, man, looking out for the neighbor, that's what I realized. I always been a person that, to a degree, like been helpful, like to say yes and help people. You know, like a typical people pleaser, that you've been used and felt obliged to say yes, but there's also a part of you that really likes to help people. And it was just that when I solved everything for myself after the panic attacks, like not solved everything, but seemingly the worst problems I ever had were gone, and I felt the best I ever had. You know, when you end up in that position, all you want to do is give back. That's all it's been about since then. And of course I will have some personal goals and stuff, you know, but like all my personal goals, like let's say when it comes to something like money, it's like, yeah, it will help me. I'm not very driven by money. I wish sort of I was more motivated by money. That's why I try to be on you guys as like, please support with super chat, you know. But like for me, when I'm doing well with money, doing something I really like well as in I don't have so much materialistic demands. Yeah, I'm not super motivated by this, the point, but I realize that other than just my personal, you know, like what I could do with money, because I wouldn't really do much differently if I had way more money, but I could just invest it and reach more people and help more. So I realize that I'm trying to learn to look at it this way. But point being is that even then, it's like, how can I make this help people job that I have be a bigger thing? You know, generate more money, but also then be able to provide more service. So my personal goals are very aligned with doing something for other people, if you see what I mean. And it's like, this is what we're supposed to do on Earth. Just that most people haven't really gotten it. That we are all brothers and sisters on this Earth. And that if we all would look at it that way, that I help you and you help me, everyone would be doing better. So yeah, been a soldier of God for 7 years. But that doesn't make you perfect. You still have flaws, make mistakes, act out of ego at times. But it's like the overall, general values and outlook on life. You know, most people in the society, it's not like most people that go to work in an office do it because they love bringing whatever they do to people. I'm not saying no one, but what I mean is that the way we like help each other in this society is we're all stuck in the same machine, sort of. It's not really so much that, we are all having a great time doing this society thing together. We're kind of corrupted. there is a lot of good people also, but what I also mean is that even the people that are like nice and that would help you in a random situation, everyday situation, if they could, you know, it's not. Most people are still too cowardly and too comfortable to actually do anything, right? Yeah, little spiel about that. Chico Jackson says, yo, good content. Cheers, Chico Jackson. I'm glad you like the content. Good to see you. How are you, man? Jack, here in Sweden, homeschooling your kids is against the law, where you have to send your kids to school to get indoctrinated. Yeah, that's quite crazy, right? You know, it's a difficult question also, because of course you'd like to not have to do that indoctrination, but homeschooling, unless you can find some like-minded people and do it together or something, it's hard, right? Because the school is a certain way, but it's a socialization bit that you're afraid that they would miss out on if you homeschool them, right? I'm just trying again because I don't know. But 1111111. Trying to hit the number, not knowing, never knowing what the exact delay is. Mia, yeah, man, I will definitely go when I can, especially now that you've told me to go for it. Yeah, man. Like, you know, I don't know what you're doing with your life currently. I mean, I know all the, like, health stuff you've dealt with, but I don't really know your exact life situation and, like, what you're doing right now. But since I got that impression that you've been, like, a little afraid to go out in the big, wide world, you know, and maybe you don't know maybe you don't know what you want to do. So I'm just like, based on the little I know, I'm like, I just want to plant that idea. That can be something to work towards. Think, when I'm done with this, this, and this, then I gotta go to Egypt. That would be awesome, man. Tony 420 Toka boats. I like weed, but I actually don't smoke. I take a decent amount of edibles though. Okay. Does that help with your food addiction? AAA. I think you should clip farm and get viral at all costs. It will be worth it for you. Your powerful message of truth and honesty. I appreciate it, man. Clip farm. Yeah. This again, I guess, if I, for instance, it's not like I couldn't afford it at all, but if it felt like super easy, I could just hire someone to do a bunch of clips, shorts, reels, just pump them out, you know. Stuff like that. Because again, I do so much myself. I do everything, almost everything myself already. That's why I'm asking for support also, guys. Because it ends up being sometimes now that it's like, I stand here when I want to. I would like to really invest and focus on content, but then it's slow. The content in and of itself doesn't generate too much money, but I can put effort into getting clients even offline, and that will make me money, you see. It's like, yeah, it's a constant like balance and figuring out where should I put my focus, because you only have so many resources. Beautiful here, guys. I don't know how well you're gonna see it. Maybe if I move out of the frame. Yeah, not bad. Tony 420 Tokos. Do you remember commenting back to me that you would go bald if I got down to 165? I'm still 200. I recall it vaguely. Yeah. Now it's so long ago that I meant it probably when I said it, but it must have been a long time ago, you know. Because, you know, I would generally stick to that. But it's like, if it happened so long after that I don't even remember, it's like, it expired. Still 200. Yeah, man. It's like you need a plan. You should invest in coaching with me, like we talked about. While the cheaper program is around, you should invest in that, because I'm going to remove that one soon. AAA with TikTok and popular topics and IRL events and the like. Yeah, you should call out famous people, maybe for the views, to save people. Yeah, it's like, again, I could do stuff. I could do stuff that I feel okay about to get larger reach and that, but I have certain integrity. There are certain things that I don't want to do, like just call out celebrities, famous people for no reason. You know, just a little level of fame that I have, I realize how frustrating and annoying and unfair that kind of shit can be. So, you know, if I have something legit or an angle when I can use a person's name or something, I'll do that. But I just never want to be thinking so actively about that. You see what I mean? When I have an angle that makes sense to me, then I combine it. It's like I can play with titles, for instance, but not in any sort of way. It must feel like this was genuine to me still. Yeah, super chats. Pothead is telling you to send super chats. He has already spent everything on pot, so you other guys gotta do it. AAA, we already know how to be fit and eat well. You need to go viral. Clips of you with millions of views. Yeah, man. But please help, though. Like, you are helping by telling me and encouraging me. But it's like, you know, I don't do these streaks when I just do what I think is good. I know I might have to do things a bit different, play the game a little bit more. But you know, I burn out sometimes. And I put so much... Do you understand how much effort I put into Uncommon Sense over these years and have it grow so slowly? Because I'm really trying to stay true to what I do. You know, the people, oh, don't become a narcissist. You know, it's like, yeah, well, there's so many things I could have done just to gain me personally in different ways, both in real life and online, that I just won't do. So yeah, man, my time will come. We will like more. But it also seems to be the case with me that, how should I put that? Things go slower for me, and many times I feel like. Many times what should work for me doesn't. And then suddenly something just happens. When it's looked like nothing is happening. It's, I think I talked about this on another stream, that it feels like I have to prove for so long that I'm like okay with doing things the right way. That I have the patience. But I appreciate you, man. Poted asks, what do you mean by soldier of God and Jesus Christ? I didn't say anything about Jesus Christ. And you start talking of holy anointing oil. Like, man, this is silly to me. I'm not saying that, look, it's no point in looking into that, but it's like, you think that the main thing about Jesus Christ was some fucking oil? Not what he stood for, not what he did, not his way of being, some oil? What I mean by soldier of God is someone that fights for love, truth, and what's right. I am good. I'm trying to be a good man. I'm trying to build myself up so I can build others up. Leave a positive impact on this earth. Not for an ego legacy. I don't really care about that at all. Only to the degree that people remembering me influences them in some kind of positive way. But just for my personal fame, I don't give a shit at all. Yeah. I just want to do good. I'm so happy. I healed a lot in myself. I want to help others do as much of that as possible. And then other things that aren't all healing, like, you know, just a natural bodybuilding lifestyle. I feel so great. I get so many benefits from it. So I just want to spread that. Is that funny to you? It's like, I'm not offended. But you're like, ha ha ha, what do you mean? Oh, look into the oil. The oil, that's what Jesus is about. Because that is how Jesus Christ was healing people, with a holy anointing oil. I get upset when people are wastefully using pot a lot, especially. Listen, you're so funny, man. Just switch in the middle of the sentence. Switch what you're talking about. How much do you weigh and how tall are you? Well, right now I weigh I actually gained a bit of weight. I was surprised. I weigh between 84 and 85. So it's still fairly lean, but I was really lean, down to like 83 for a while, which is very lean for me. Yeah, I'm 177 or 76 centimeters. It's unclear which one. What more did you ask? Yeah, that was it, I guess. Yeah, that's my stats right now. Beautiful sunset. Yeah, Miyahi. Yeah, I was procrastinating a lot, but I'm done now. Made all the appointments and gonna go get a driver's license soon. And now that I finally made all the appointments, I'm definitely going. No way back. Driver's license, huh? ID has been expired for 4 years. Yeah, man. You've lived quiet life, huh? How old are you again, man? What do you think of Chris Pratt, Pothead asks? Mystical stab artist. But yeah, Chris Pratt, I don't think too much of him. Like, he's a Christian actor, I think. He's Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. No, I mean, I've seen a clip here and there. It's like, oh, Chris Pratt speaking truth to power in Hollywood or something. Seems like a good guy. I mean, if you're in Hollywood and a Christian, that's probably, and you actually speak up for it, you're probably a pretty decent person, yeah. Mystical stab artist. Look at your rival. Goatis, my rival, yeah. He's replicating himself with that Russian woman. That is nature's law. Failure to replicate is long, slow death. I mean, replicate. When I was a nihilist, I had that biology thinking too. And I mean, I want to have kids. It's just that I know that just like you cannot force a relationship, I cannot force that. Like, it's not going to be a good thing then. So, as a man, even if we're thinking like that, I could have my first kid when I'm like 60 years old. Would it be ideal? No. It's like, there's no point in rushing it, because that can only lead to a bad thing. So yeah, I don't know shit about Goatis and some Russian woman. He's definitely, I know you're joking around, but he's definitely not my rival. Like, I found it, the little I knew of him when he made a video of me, I found it very funny, because I have heard some things, but I'd seen one video that was kind of the same video, but with some other guy. The man made metal in the gym, and rapid age, that is stressful, it's bad for you. It's this delusional take, in my view. And yeah, not my rival. And you ask, is Goatis right about exercise and nutrition? I don't know, but he's winning because he's replicating himself. You stress yourself with exercise and are not making duplicates. Yeah, well, man, I mean, I never know to what degree you're joking. I know you're just you're playing with language, but I don't know the sentiment there. I don't even know how much you actually believe it. I just disagree with it, Like, do you, okay, he's duplicating. Is that a good thing? That this guy is breeding little goats? Is that something we want to have happen? Is that a good thing? And like, I don't know. He doesn't believe in God even, right? Like, why does he care? I feel that's the godless thing. That's the last thing you can make up in your head when you don't find God. Oh, but well, something biology spreading my seed genes, blah blah. I used to think like that. But now I think, even if I would absolutely want to have my own kids, biological kids, yeah, cool. Cool to see a little half you, or several of them, and get to raise these and trying to give them the chances I didn't get, give them the greatest start. However, I can influence people. I can have an effect, a positive effect on the world without having kids also. And since I don't have this stupid biologist view, there's like, you see, I personally would like kids, but I don't see it as like, oh, that's how you win, you know. Mystical staff artist, you cannot ignore reality like this. When you do ignore reality because of your ideology, it becomes religion. What ideology do I have, man? I don't have any ideology. I feel you're the one with the ideology. It's not talking about duplicating yourself and how this is winning. You have the ideology. You have this duplicate, reproduce religion. Potted, and I'm white, so I care more about every white having at least one child. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when people have kids out of some fucking robotic, like just multiplication goal, how is that ever going to turn out well with the kids? It's not going to be a relationship of love. It's like, that's what I mean. You understand? It's much more important that the relationships between men and women heal, and then a natural consequence of that is more loving relationships and actually quality new kids, because they're going to have a good upbringing, right? That's this fucking ideology of these like polyamorous types, like Andrew Tate spreading this idea that you should pretty much go around and impregnate different women in different places. Most of these boys won't turn out like good men, having a father that's barely around. Many of them are going to be like criminals or something, dope fiends and stuff. My arm span, you ask? I think 42 centimeters is the biggest I measured them to. And when lean, when not bulked up. It's like 16.3, 16.5 inches, something like that. Mystical stab artist. If you don't fight fire with fire, you lose. Okay, gotta run. Be well to you. Be well, mystical stab artist. Yeah, you gotta be 23 in October. Alright, man. I was thinking 24. Almost right. Thought that Chris had spat M&M bars when he was younger. Cool. Jack, do you have cheat meals in your diet? If so, what cheat meals do you eat? What I don't, you know, the thing about that is like I sort of understand the question, but I don't think like that. I don't cheat myself. I don't. I never have something like, oh, I feel like cheating now. I do, however, when I'm bulking or when I'm just efficient in the summer, eat like sugary candy with as few ingredients as possible, just for carbs. And when I'm bulking, I will have a pizza every now and then, just on top of the good food, to get enough calories in. Especially when I'm bulking, if I'm going to a birthday party, I'm gonna eat a lot of cake there. Never ever do I view this as a cheat. It's all part of the plan. I don't think it's a productive way to think of it as cheating. So, yeah. No, I don't cheat. It's part of the plan if I have something like that. It's like, you know, for instance, when I was cutting, it was with more birthdays, but for instance, my mom's birthday. And I did refeeds. I did eat more on the weekends. And then I just like didn't have lunch. And I go there, eat the food, some cake, something else maybe, I don't remember. It's like it's all accounted for. No cheating. Don't cheat yourself. No, I have not heard of flyting. Chef says, Goatis is weak and mentally ill and ran away from Interpol. Yeah. Jig, hallå, läget? Läget, Jig? Let's see, I can be, let's say, I cap it at 2 hours today, the stream. Can be around for a little bit longer. Just where do I want to? I find a bench to just sit down for a little bit at the end here. Me, the last 10 years were spent with my biggest issue, hypochondria. Yeah, got so bad that I called the ambulance a couple of times many years ago. I still feel ashamed about that, and ended up in an asylum. And I understand that it's just the way my brain and my thinking worked at the time. I don't have regrets that all of this happened. Otherwise, I wouldn't be at this point I'm at now, mentally. Yeah, man. Yeah. No. But that's what I mean. You know, it's like when I comment, and I think you get this, especially by now, but when I comment and think out loud what I know of you and your life situation, it's purely objective. I'm just analyzing it, right? But we all ended up, not all, but many of us, due to how we were raised or some events early in our life, we developed some mechanisms that aren't so helpful when we get older. So yeah, man, it is what it is. There's no point in regretting anything. You know, other than the only time regret serves a purpose, it's like almost part of a grieving process sometimes. If something went really bad and you're like, fuck, shouldn't have done that, then the regret is sort of the grief in a sense. But then later on just go like, oh, I wish I hadn't wasted these years of my life doing this. It's like, okay, and what does that help you? Wishing the past was different. What an idiot's quest, right? So yeah, we talked about that on a stream not too long ago. You can manipulate the timeline so you get back on the divine timeline and you're so happy in the present moment. It's just like, how can I possibly have any regrets? Because I'm here now, which is a great place to be. And all the stuff that happened before then, undeniably, were part of that. I'll sit down for a little bit with you guys. Would be cool if someone wanted to support with a super chat before we go. Pothead says that he doesn't think you should have children unless you can raise them well. Yeah. Well, you know, it should at least be like the product of love, this child, not a like, we need to reproduce, you woman, I am man, robot thing. Pothead, do you blame women too for the actions of Andrew Tate and for the state of the world in general? Women and girls, ladies, not just guys, boys and men. I don't blame anyone, or like blame. I think it's pretty gay as a man to blame women, to focus on women. Like we can talk about, you know how girls are. Oh, it's tough these days. So I went to this date. She was like this, you know. That's one thing. But it's just general, like, women, they do this. Not little boy stuff that I'm done with. If men are what they claim they are, then rise above that. Be better. If you are stronger, then be stronger. Don't talk shit. Mystical stab artist. Theo, a married woman flashed her naked pussy at me once. She was leaning over me on the bed, like to reach for something, and lifted her skirt to show naked ass and pussy. I didn't sex her though. I'm not trolling. She was super hot too. Very nice looking. I gotta write that out every time. I'm proud of resisting that. Well, good on you, man. Yeah, nothing that literally in my face these years, but I've definitely resisted some invites as well. I remember this girl reaching out to me. It's like dirty. And she was very direct that sex was what she was looking for. And me just finding it more funny to just say, like, you know, I'm in a celibacy. So I can't, unfortunately. Rather than just say, like, no, I'm not interested or something. But then she started, like, bargaining, like, but how do you view celibacy? Because, you know, I have other holes. I'm like, ugh. Wow, you know. Now, honestly, that I just find that kind of disgusting. But yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind when you said that. Flighting was battle rapping in Asian times done by whites and others. The Irish and Scottish were particularly great at flighting. Cool. Musical stab artist. Haha. See, she was just going to run and tell my fiance, dummy, because she wanted me to marry her little sister. I gotta run. Yeah, you said you were gonna run. Loki was known as a great fighter, you know, the Nordic god. Okay. Tony for 20 Tokebos. Steve can start battle rapping in public to spread the word. I just know one rap. It's in Swedish. And it's about Counter-Strike. I can do it in a calm manner here. Because otherwise, the guy is kind of this kind of voice. Don't feel like doing that now. Vänta, det har dock hänt något. Klev in på en server och fick ett Glock headshot, men det var väl bara röta. För jag hatar den pistolen som sägs ska kunna döda. Jag vill köpa något annat. Typen AK, handgranat, kevlar och hjälmsändare, bra så. Springer runt och döda knivar, någon som står still. Planta bomben, diffusa, det är så det går till. Vi slår till när du minst anar. Glider runt med AVP, dominerar varenda bana. Bombplant på G, dags att sticka dit, jo. Trots att jag inte har lika bra aim som hiton, men det gör inget. Springer dit och sprayar stället, samma sak, jävligt kul hela jävla kvällen. Någon cheatar någon, whinar någon är bra, någon suger någon, fake-nickar. Men man vet att de ljuger. Springer runt, kastar flash, handgranat, teamkill. Fan vad kass så går det när man är skitvill. Hem från jobbet, spela CS, är jävligt taggad. Vad fan är det för skit när servern laggar? Du tror verkligen att du är all that. Men du får fan inga kills utan wallhack. Plötsligt i radion, jag behöver hjälp i mitten. Jag springer dit utan att det ger. Så skjuter jag honom i pitten. Jag är inte tönt att spela Counter-Strike. Vid datorn och vråla. Jag är inte tönt att spela Counter-Strike. Jag är tönt att spela Counter-Strike. Är med på alla LAN. Jag är inte tönt att spela Counter-Strike. Hela jävla dagen. Lyssna på den här låten, för den är verkligt fet. Ingen våldsironi, för Counter-Strike är verklighet. I alla fall för oss som har hamnat i träsket. Och vill du med så spela, så får du för fan hassla på fläsket. Det går undan, för det är redan dags att spela någonting vi dominerar, så blir det mera kax. Så slutar det med att någon whinar. Någon kommer till klanen och frågar om det får try-event. Sluta fråga, för vi är ett gäng divor. Vi sitter och snackar skit om era klan-event, Trilo. 16 000 behövs för att rädda dagen, för då kan jag inhandla alla vapen. Colten äger, för den är inte alls svår. Glider runt och får massa headshots på Dust 2. Det bästa gör det redo, för vi sprider terror. Fan, server, verification error. There you go. It's called I'm like a dork, or I'm a geek that plays Counter-Strike. Miyahi, and one thing about wishing that the past was different, you just don't know where you would have ended up. Like maybe if you didn't do the thing you shouldn't have, you have died the next day because some car drove over you, if you get my point, lol. Yeah, I get that, man. He said it works the other way around too, but yeah, I don't know. It just seems illogical to me now to be regretting my past. Well, you know, everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to. That's all I tell you. It's hard to believe or accept at times, But when you think that something should be different, you know, not that you have an opinion like this person close to me, they should do this, really. Like if you express that to me, it can be like, yeah, like maybe they're not able to, but yeah, clearly that's what they should be doing. But if we're talking just about like the world shouldn't be like this, the past, it shouldn't have gone like this, you know. Now you're playing God. Now you're playing God. And when you're in denial of reality, you can never get a nice, good reality. You block yourself from the truth of things with the perspective you're choosing. So that's what I realized. Again, at the most traumatic, most painful events, it's not like you're going to be able to fully be like, oh, well, this is just part of God's plan. But you have to act as if you have to know that. That's my reminder when I've been in really low states throughout these years. I just keep remembering that I've always came back to a place where I have no regrets of anything. So that's, I call it like stoic knowledge. And what I mean by that is like, right now, for instance, when I'm sitting here saying this, I can experience this, you know, that, yeah, everything happens for a reason. There's nothing I would change about anything, you know. But, yeah, at those times, I cannot feel that. But I just have to know. I just have to find it in me to believe that eventually I'll be back in this place. And then I'll know it again. For real. So stoic knowledge in the sense that you just have to know the truth, even when your experience doesn't tell you at all that this is the case, doesn't confirm it at all. Yeah, you talk so much, Pothead. French weightlifter. Hello there, how are you guys doing? I'm doing well, man, how are you? I mean, I just got to the end of the chat, and you just showed up here. But I'm like, I capped the stream on 2 hours, and now it's silent, so I think I'm gonna round off soon. I'll just give it a minute. If you wanna say something, my French guy, fine, thanks. Good to hear, man. Good to hear, man. Now I'll give it a few minutes if someone wants to say something, some last thing. Send a super chat. Show some love. Yeah, but guys, look forward to the podcast reboot. French weightlifter. You will definitely like my podcast episode on Friday, for sure. Both the guest and the topics, I think. It's great. It's going to be great. But I'm actually going to release it at lunchtime also. Like my time. So, you know, like at 1 in the day, Swedish time. Right now, for reference, the Swedish time is 7:40 p.m. Tony for 20 Tokables. Nice rap. I'm glad you liked it, man. I'm glad someone said something about it. Like, I wasn't sitting here waiting, but when you said it, I'm like, that's right. Did I get completely ignored with my rap skills? A pothead. You think Dreads Vikings war? It's like a Yoda sentence. Braided hair for show, right? Yeah, you complimented the rap too, Potted. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, you probably did it in the same sentence. Okay, so they're gonna sit behind me. You probably did it in the same sentence. You said something about like some big political stuff or something. I guess I'll start moving a bit. Yeah, French weightlifter. You're gonna enjoy that one for sure. Great one. I was so happy. Like, you know, I've been happy with all my podcast episodes, but what I felt like, what I felt like is that, you know, I called the show Human Beings, and I said on the very first episode that, you know, the podcast where we're very interested in individuals, or like distinct individuals, is what I said. And even more so since then, I realized that, yeah, that's what I am. I'm so interested in individuals on a bigger level than just like, oh, you're a bodybuilder. Oh, you're an author. Oh, you're artist, or you're whatever you are, right? I'm interested in you. How do you look at things? How do you feel about things? How do you react to things like this? What do you think about this? How do you do with this thing? Have you noticed this? Yeah, and I felt like I really, it was a very holistic episode in that way. So yeah, really good. I don't know about all that, but I don't care too much too, or too little. Yeah, you're all chill. And have y'all ever had coffee thrown in your face by your father, or a bump caused on the back of your head because your dad hit you on the back of your head, but with his phone? Not asking for empathy, sympathy, just a question. No, but I was brought up with an autistic brother that would fight me in complete rage on a daily basis a lot of the time, sometimes multiple times per day. And I was told always that, you're the strong one. He doesn't know better, so you can't be angry. So I was dealt with a mission of being a little kid, getting beat up over completely unfair stuff over my little brother. So of course I can beat him. But I always have to try to steer it off. So I didn't have your thing happen, but I had a thing happen. French weightlifter. Wish all of you guys a good and happy evening night. Bye. Bye, man. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. No, and my mom, she never beat me, but she was very verbally abusive. And it's something Jesse Lee Peterson would say also. Screaming at kids, yelling, and not just like raising your voice a little, like rage screaming. It might, for me, it felt like that might as well have been violence. It was almost worse in the sense because you cannot claim violence. They hit me. You cannot say that, but it's as traumatizing pretty much. I wouldn't mind so much the coffee, so much if it didn't get in my eye. Do you think sometimes that you wear sort of a clown mask, pothead? That you are in more pain than you care to face, really? I don't know, and I don't care too much about anything, or little, or whatever you keep saying. Yeah, I'll finish the stream now, guys. Thank you for this time. It was a good time. We'll see. The streams, I'm not going to do them the way I have done them, but they might replace a video. Because I'm going to try to go back to the typical publishing schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today, like I said, couldn't record a video, so I came live. Might do that. Sunday streams, possibly. We'll see. I don't feel like you guys appreciate them enough, really. I'm too generous. My problem. But some of you do. When I say you guys, cannot address everyone individually of you. Pothead says, I don't care too much or too little about anything. Yeah. I think you're pretending a little bit. See ya, Miyahi, and a little heart to you as well. Bye, guys. Thank you for the stream. See you on the podcast on Friday. And whatever else. We'll see. Peace.